I'm here from the Tribal Dreamcasters, and we are starting a new series called Winding Down. And I tried to start this before, and my dogs kind of went crazy on me, so I apologize if you were in for that one. But anyway, before we start, I need a breath. So could we just take a deep breath in, hold it for a couple of seconds, and take a deep breath out? You know, life happens and we can't always figure it out, but we can breathe and we can take it in and slowly let it out and release the day's troubles, release the stresses that happen, the things that come unexpectedly for us, and the the day's thing stresses that happen, goodness, like unexpectedly. Um, Let your shoulders drop down, unclench your jaw. I know when I get stressed, that's a big stressor for me. I clench my jaw an awful lot. So make sure you unclench your jaw, let your hands relax, get in a comfortable position. And for the next few minutes, you really don't have to carry what you've been carrying all day. Just let go and close your eyes and just be here where we are in this room and breathe in. And we're going to learn to let it go and let the day's stresses go. And just think about what brings us peace and, nature and my dogs bring me a tremendous amount of peace. You guys here at Substack bring me a huge amount of peace. You are incredibly, incredibly supportive, and I'm so grateful to have a community here for especially days like today. And um, so we want to just have a place where we can settle in and let go and try and get to a place to where we feel safe again in the day and you know don't have to worry. And I don't know if any of you have anything pressing, any burning desires on your mind today. Mine in particular are my dogs, but if that's the worst it gets, then today is a good day. Um, Sometimes peace comes in little pieces. It comes in, the hope that tomorrow might feel a little bit different if today was not such a great day. It comes from where we're going. Sometimes we're looking forward to things, and that brings us peace. Sometimes it's just simply being in the moment, being still, and listening to your body, hearing what it has to tell you. Are you stressed? Are you feeling uncomfortable in any particular place? And what do you need to do to kind of let that go so that you can breathe and so that you can feel like you're not carrying all of that, and get it to a lighter place. We need a lighter place and calm. What brings you guys calm? I'd love to know. I'd love to know. I know that a lot of us here, we suffer from different kinds of mental illnesses, mental disorders, anxiety, depression, PTSD, and those alone are difficult to maneuver on a good day. And you know, those are things that, we struggle with that sometimes people don't understand. And that's what I like about being here is I don't think I've met too many people here that don't understand because most people have been through some kind of traumatic event. And whether it's abuse, whether it's grief, loss of a loved one, whether it is, oh my goodness, mental illness, be it yours or a loved one's, um, family issues. And there's a lot on our children's plates these days. And I know um, my children are not even children anymore, but I worry 24 hours a day about them. So, but I try not to pass that on, and especially to the little children. We want to bring them as much of a childhood piece that we can pass on to them and not pass on our traumas and our stressors of the day to them. We want to be able to be present for them and to, at the end of the day, to give them the things that they need from us. The hugs, the story times, the just hanging out with your kids, not so much screen time. A lot of people find screens to be babysitters, and I think, get your kids out there and show them how to play in the dirt, show them how to hit a baseball. And believe it or not, it not only helps your children, but brings you back to a place and time that is childlike. And our adult world is so much that just to get a glimpse of those childhood moments are very special. And so I love it when my grandkids are here and bring me those funny times. And I wrote a story one time about bringing my grandchildren to church up the road, and I have two boys and a girl, and the girl said to me, "Mimi, Zephyr has a frog in his mouth." And I looked, and Zeph, open your mouth. And I inspected nothing, so I just thought I was being teased. We were getting ready to pull out, and I was kind of more paying attention to pulling out of my parking spot. And then I get another, Mimi, Zeph's got a frog in his mouth. And so I decided that maybe I better take a better look before we get on the road. And so, sure enough, I take Zephyr out of the car, and we were standing there, and I, Zeph, open up your mouth. And he opens up his mouth, and no, no frog. Zeph, lift up your tongue. And there was a little frog nestled underneath his tongue that he was saving to play with for later after church. And that made my day, And I remember that wasn't a day that started out so well, but going back to, that ease of childhood, that ease of calmness that you can tap into through children, that was a special time. It still is a special moment. And so, um, the goal is here to whatever it is that brings you comfort, whether it is, a little bit of stretching and exercising, whether it's artwork, writing. Um, I met a guy in the doctor's office yesterday that was not weaving, knitting with a loom that just fascinated me. I'd never seen such a thing. It's a simpler way of not using if you don't know, I don't know, lack of a better term, the sticks that you weave with and or that you knit with, and he made the most fantastic things with those and did wonderful things with them. He happened to be making a, a hat, a beanie at that time, and but he explained to me how it brought him calm. It brought him back down to, you know, out of his head and into, you know, something positive. And we spend a lot of time in our heads. I know I do, too much time sometimes. And, to get out of that space and find whatever that is that kind of cracks open that part of you that, just is tight, it's very, very special. So um, I would like to. Um, I would I would love to say hi. Hello, Ashley. I see you're here. I see you're here. I'm not really know about how to run this chat, but I'm learning. Ashley, thank you so much for teaching me. Ashley's a wonderful teacher. She's a wonderful mentor, and I'm so grateful for her. She has such wonderful vision about abuse and how to heal from grief and how to heal from abuse and how to heal from all of the things that take away our joy in life. And her simple, it's not simple, but her goal in life is just simply to help others find back that joy that they've lost through trauma or through mental illness or through struggles that we need help through. And life isn't always pretty and it's not always easy. And you don't always find people that are willing to put themselves out. And Ashley is one of those people. She will be there and I will be there. I definitely will be there. I found a place to put my passion after nursing. I wasn't quite sure where to put that, but I definitely have found a place, and that is here with you guys and learning how to heal ourselves together and to encourage each other to step back and to take that breath when we're having a bad day and to remind each other that it's not really always that serious. It's not always as bad as we think it is, and sometimes it takes somebody else to point that out for you. And uh, and so it is nice. And I'm grateful for this community. And so, and yes, we have to do what others don't want us to do. And you know, we we have a voice. We have a unique voice. We have a voice that has not come from so much a formal education, although we do have those, many of us have those, but a lived experience that not everybody has, and it's some of these topics are not topics that are spoken about easily. They're not topics that are easy to talk about, but they are healing to talk about, and they're important to talk about. And I know when I started on here, my first thing was reading. I read everything I could about the traumas that I'd been through and how to heal them. And then I started to put into practice some of the exercises that I'd learned you know, and then I realized that I can speak too. And I just started pouring my heart out into thoughts and publishing those thoughts and feeling back the love from you guys really made me feel comfortable. And yes, Ashley's about to open up our safe zone and our safe space sanctuary community, and what a lovely name that is. And, that's exactly what we need so that we do feel comfortable talking as a safe space that nobody can invade and nobody can judge us or our our feelings, and because they're all valid and they all do need to be validated. That helps so much in healing and coming together, and that is a huge part of that. Hello, Robes. And I just I'm looking forward to this sacred space that Ashley is talking about and that she's been working so diligently on. And I can't wait for us to be there and speak openly and learn from each other and open the door. We need to open the door for more people to speak about what I was told growing up, don't air your dirty laundry. And it's, you know, dirty laundry is dirty laundry for some people because they don't want to be exposed. But those of us that are victims of that, we need for that to be exposed and we need to be able to speak about it and to not have judgment and to feel the love and to be able to get all of these things out, because if we don't get them out, then they internalize and then we have um, physical symptoms. And, the cortisol spikes up and wreaks havoc on your body and your nervous system. And um, I don't know if you've never been there, it's not a fun place to be, and it takes a long time to just regulate yourself enough to where you can even begin to deal with the diagnoses that come from that. And this is a safe space to speak about those diagnoses. It's a safe space to speak about the medications. There are so many medications that doctors are willing to put people on. And I'm not saying, I was a nurse for 35 years. I'm not saying medications don't have their place, but I certainly have learned that nature has its place and that speaking is a part of that. And if we use those tools first, then um, the medication just becomes an adjunct tool, not the main tool. And, we're not covering up the side effects of a medication with another medication, causing another side effect that causes another thing to deal with. We have enough to deal with. And so, um, and that stuff needs to be shared. Doctors don't offer that a lot of times freely. They do put us on those medications, not knowing what to expect from them, and sometimes they're positive and sometimes they're not so positive, and so we can talk about that here. And so and we are a powerful force. We're people that have been through an awful lot, and we have an awful lot to share and empower each other and to heal. And I know at 58, I my goal is peace. My goal is 100% peace, whatever that takes, and that's inside and out. And I believe a lot of people in this community are looking for the same thing, and that's um, less of impressing others and more of digging inside ourselves and healing ourselves and the hurts that hold us back from the beautiful things in life. And they do exist. They do. Um, as you may know, we suffered a loss of our daughter several years ago, and I lost sight of that beautiful things that exist. And that was a heavy thing to pick up and move on about. But God is good, and if you listen and if you let people help you, and in my case, the hardest thing was reaching out. I'm not a person that feels very comfortable reaching out to ask for help, but there comes a time where you have no other choice, and that's where I hit a wall, and, luckily, that wall brought me to this community and to you people, and I'm grateful for every single one of you, and Ashley, I'm so grateful for you because you are you've brought me to the beautiful people here and, now to this wonderful, exciting exciting adventure. I'm so excited for it because the safety of speaking and the safety of knowing that you're not going to be judged is it's integral because otherwise it's not gonna be spoken about, and it's gonna be swept under the covers, and we are in 2026, and it's just too late to not have this conversation. This conversation should have These conversations should have begun long time ago, and I think these communities are allowing for that, and they're allowing for us to come together, and technology is allowing for that rather than just one-on-one, um, with a counselor, and I'm not taking away from that at all because, that is important, but so is interacting with peers that have gone through similar experiences. So I'm going to keep it right about there. I just want to remind you guys about Ashley's new adventure. We are a force. I met that when I met Ashley. I said she is a force. We are a force to be reckoned with. We no, we are not victims. We are survivors. We survivors are a force, and we're going to continue to be a force, and we will not be silenced. And there's a lot to come from this. There's a lot of good to come from this. A lot of healing to come from this. And sharing our experiences and our strength and our hope and keep the hope going and keep other people's hope going. And, you know, if we have to be the pioneers in this, then that's what we're going to do. And it's a empowering place to be. It's a scary place to be, but it's a so necessary place to be because it's a place I know I looked very hard for and couldn't find the comfortable space that I needed to be in until this. And so I know I've become so much stronger because of you. And the beauty of that is you can pass that on. And I believe it is to be passed on so that the next generation gets even stronger and we do break these generational traumas that are passed down. And we don't move ahead with the grief that we've accumulated through our life and pass that on to the next generation because they deserve to go through their life and have their own experiences. And if we don't heal ourselves, we are certainly going to pass that on. And that enough is enough motivation for me to do the right thing and do what it takes to heal and be here and show up for each other and support each other and speak about our experiences and follow the tribal dream stacker's dream and express our voices and be that person that can help the next person along because it can be very tough and very ugly sometimes. And those are the times we lean on each other. I'm grateful for that. So I just want to end this with a quick little, you know, breathe in and breathe out and gratitude. Let's think about gratitude tonight. All of the things that we're thankful for that bring us the simple things, the simple things that many people don't have. And especially gratitude for people like you in this community and the ability to have a place to share and the ability to have a place to heal. And I needed this winding down tonight. And I thank you guys all for being here. And Ashley, I thank you immensely. And this safe space sanctuary community, our new publication. Um, I know that Ashley, that we're going to come out with the all of the links and the information to that, and I look forward to seeing everybody there and really sharing and really getting into and diving into mental health and grief and abuse and the different types of abuse and how that affects us, what these things cause and how to make ourselves better, how to be victors, how to be survivors instead of victims. And so I'm very, very excited for that. And let's, take a deep breath and let's inhale. Let's inhale that peace and, exhale the stress, exhale the negatives, and exhale everything that's bringing you down in life. Inhale the beautiful things that are giving your body and your mind the things that you need to expand and become what God has meant us to be on this earth and to be helpful to each other and to stop the hate and to because if we're stressed we're not nice people sometimes. Sometimes we are angry people. And so let's take that away from ourselves and be kind. And kindness can start with us. Sometimes that just starts with a smile, or a pat on the back, or I understand, and I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I will listen to you. And I will be there. A lot of people need that. A lot of people are isolated. And a lot of people are isolated um, out of abuse, and they don't even realize that that's what has happened. It happens very insidiously. And um, And then all of a sudden you're on an island out on your own going, "Help." And you're so far away that nobody can hear you. But thank goodness for this wonderful internet and this wonderful community on Substack, and now Ashley's beautiful community that she's creating. And it's going to allow us to unload and to have a lighter feeling about us and to let go of those stressors and to be happy and to enjoy each day as it comes. You know, make the next one even better. And if it's not better, at least get through it and know that a good one is to come. We can't have all good days, but we can strive for better days. We can strive for as many good days as we can. And, you know, not letting the people or things that made us victims, not letting them win by being happy and overcoming the negativity that was meant to be put on us. And, we don't need to carry that forward. So I just want to thank everybody for being here, for being patient with me during my learning process here. This is, like I said, I was brought up to not air your dirty laundry, but I do believe in this, and I believe in the entire process. And so I'm willing to put myself out there and to say, hey, we can do this together, and we can do this with Ashley's wonderful publication. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this to come out. And yes, our Ashley, I see our thoughts will be able to ignite your strength. And, strength is in numbers. And I believe that there are enough numbers out there that we're going to have an incredible amount of strength and an incredible amount of healing that happens. This community, the Tribal Dream Stacker community, and as well as the new publication that is going to be coming out very shortly. Um, I see serenity there. I can't think of a happier word than serenity. Thank you. That's just beautiful, Ashley. And thank you all for being there. I don't quite know how to do this. Oh, here we go with the chat a little bit, but yeah, thank you. And I appreciate everybody's participation in this and patience. And Shelley, thank you. I know you were here last night. And Donna, thank you so much for being here. And all of you, thank you. I'm not quite proficient on this. Mrs. Hughes, thank you. And Miss Ashley Schmitt, thank you very much from all of us. And thank you for being a part of our winding down process. I encourage you all to take about 4 or 5 just deep breaths in and out. Um, I don't know if you know this, but I did learn that when you breathe in, you hold it and then you exhale. You exhale a couple of seconds longer than you would inhale. And if you do that, it resets your nervous system. And um, that was a shocker for me, but it does work. It truly does work. And that's when I use a lot. So if we want to just have a couple of breaths together and say goodnight, I would love that. And I'm looking forward to doing more podcasts with you. So thank you very much. Have a good evening, everybody.